Hi guys, and welcome to my new video. This is the second video in the 4-part series of the 4 cardinal virtues, and this video is on discipline or temperance. I am the disabled Stoic, and let's get right into the video. So, what is discipline or temperance? Well, the definition is quality of moderation or self-restraint. Jim Rohn said that discipline is a bridge between goals and accomplishments. To the Stoics, however, discipline/temperance is the art of mastering yourself. It's about avoiding distractions. It's about setting rules and boundaries for yourself and for others, for what others can and can't do to you. It's about getting your head down and getting the important stuff done without procrastinating. So, why do we need discipline? To get the important stuff done first without getting distracted. To make progress in our lives. We can't move on with our lives if we keep getting distracted, if we keep procrastinating. So we need to be disciplined in order for life to progress. We can have motivation, but eventually motivation runs out, and we need to have discipline at all times to get where we want to be in life. We need discipline/temperance/moderation for when we have so much to do, for when we want to get ahead of the game, for when we need to avoid distractions when we have important stuff to do, for when we feel like overindulging in pleasures. So, getting the important shit done. We all have important stuff to do most of the time. A deadline, an errand, a personal goal, etc. Everything we want to get done, multiple distractions get in the way, or try to. Our phone, food, drink, unimportant things that can wait. We all get distracted. I will admit, I do too sometimes. We all do, we're human. But once we realise what is top of our priority list, that's the first step in gaining discipline. When you feel like being distracted, think to yourself that you'll have time to indulge and rest moderately after getting the important stuff done. Putting things off just makes us more stressed out. Bettering yourself. Discipline isn't just getting work done before indulging or resting. It's also about having the willpower to better yourself. We see addicts do this through professional help. We see fat and skinny people do this, hitting the gym, eating well, getting in shape, etc. We see people doing this who are struggling mentally through therapy. And we can do the same to break a bad habit to better ourselves. No matter how big or small our first steps look. That's discipline right there. No matter how it looks to other people, if it's bettering ourselves, it is discipline. It takes between 18 and 254 days, which is 66 on average, to form a habit according to Healthline, both good and bad habits. The time you'd spend forming bad habits could be spent forming good habits, breaking bad ones, and bettering yourself. Gonna take a water break here. Be a minute. So, pleasure. Pleasure feels nice. Takeaways, sex, a good nap, doing nothing, overindulging, etc. Any kind of pleasure. But it can also be a distraction. The Stoics, contrary to popular belief, weren't against pleasure, But they weren't Epicureans either. They didn't think pleasure was the ultimate goal in life. But they were against overindulging in pleasure, especially when it stops our growth in life. We see how overindulgent pleasure can ruin lives. Addiction, laziness, any kind of that. I'm not perfect either. In fact, in my first year of university, I spent way too much on takeaways because they just tasted too good, and because I was too lazy to actually cook. Not only did my bank account suffer, but I did too. I felt shit and I was unhealthy. Once I had the discipline to cook my own stuff and moderate my takeaways, I started to feel better. I still do order takeaways, not gonna lie. I think it's a good thing to do to just put your feet back and to relax and have pleasure once in a while. But I order once a week or once a fortnight, whenever my bank account wants me to. And it does taste good, but you need to moderate it otherwise. If you order takeaways every day, then it just becomes a standard habit and you'll just fall into the rabbit hole of ordering. Pleasure is good. If we have no pleasure at all, we'd just be sad human beings. Even pleasure that seems useful can be bad, such as the pleasure of making people happy. But an overindulgence in this can cause us to forget about making ourselves happy. Pleasure isn't bad, but too much is. That's why we need moderation. So, quote, what lies in our power to do, lies in our power not to do. Aristotle. Once we have the discipline to do the important stuff, we will have the discipline to stop ourselves from getting distracted, procrastinating, and overindulging pleasure. We can have help with this, with not getting distracted. Help with building discipline, whether professional or personal help. But it's ultimately up to us to put the work in. Even just asking for help is us putting work in. Rule your mind, or it will rule you. The Greek poet Horace. Our minds wander. It creates distractions, which are daydreaming. It seems sometimes that it's against us. Once we have the discipline to control what we think and ignore the mind's distractions, we will do well. Will you rule your mind, or will your mind rule you? So, how do you have discipline? This is what I do, and you can too. So, I wake up early. I wake up at 8 AM and start my work at 9, as this is the time most people are still sleeping and there are fewer distractions. Get everything important done first. Waking up early helps me do this. After I do the important shit, I have the rest of the time to do what I want within reason. I read before bed. It makes for an easier sleep, and sometimes I dream about what I read. I budget my time and money. Budgeting money is a no-brainer, but budgeting time makes it easier to do your work and also have time for rest. Moderate pleasure. I get the important stuff done, and I reward myself sometimes with a takeaway a week or every 2 weeks of rest, but don't indulge in pleasure until the important shit is done. I'm not perfect. I struggle with this too, but it's all about trying your best. And thanks for watching, and stay tuned for my next video, the Cardinal Virtues, Wisdom, and the recommended reading is Discipline is Destiny by Ryan Holiday, and I'll put the link to this in the description. And stay stoic.